Hello and welcome to this 1500 point battle. Today's presenters are Linden and special guest David.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Brothers Grimdark. David is here again for you and here still for us because it's still the same day from when we filmed his army focus. But today for you we are doing a battle report with my lovely Iyanden versus David's even lovelier Chimeras Rampant. So we've got a 1500 point game of Tempest today. We've got quite a cool theme going on for it. It's going to be very thematic and very fun. But we'll just hand over to David for what his first key is today.
The first key has to be the chapter master of my force, which is Matitas Dal Rimple. It's based on the special edition Power Fist plasma gun, Primaris Captain.
Yeah, nice, very classic pose that, like based off of whatever that second edition model was or something. Yeah, looks great.
He was one of the first Chimeras units that I painted after I really had the colour scheme down. And named him after one of my good pals, so hopefully he's going to do what he normally does, which is either punch everything in the face in a hail of glory or get punched in the face in a hail of glory and die terribly.
Well, I don't know about punching, but he might get stabbed, because my first key today is obviously Ariel. He's the leader of the Iyanden and he is showing up today with his big stabby stick, what is this called? The Blade of Twilight, the Twilight Spear, I think that's what it's called. So yes, he might find you on the middle of the tabletop and we'll have a who can punch or stab better off. But yeah, he's leading my forces today and he's going to do aerial things. What your second key today?
I think my second key has to be the Blade Guard Veterans. Such an amazing sculpt, really nice models. They do so well with being individual as a squad.
Yeah, they're just a very tanky unit. You can just leave them to either contest the centre of the board or send them up a flank and they'll do a job. Yeah, they're very good independent unit. They don't need a whole lot of support around them. So I shall see what I can do and deal with them. Today, as a sort of specialist unit to combat them, I'm running for the first time Corsair Void Guard. So the theme of the game today is a Imperium shuttle has been shot down and landed on a Eldari maiden world, and the Chimeras Rampant have showed up to be like, hey, what's this all about? But the Iyanden actually had nothing to do with this, so it has been shot down by said Corsair Void Guard, and I think I'll put them in deep strike to begin the game to show that they're sort of like, oh, didn't mean to cause such a fuss. So they're going to be hiding away to begin the game, but we'll see what happens with them when they deep strike in and what they can do on the table, because I've never used them before and they've got kind of lots of fun rules going on. There's a Psyker in there, there's a couple of sort of melta-gun style weapons, there's a Wraith Cannon, and the rest all have power swords. So they could see what they do on the table, but they should be a fun unit anyway. And then your last key?
It has to be the Venerable Brother Owens, which is a Leviathan Dreadnought.
Very cool.
It's the thing that I've had the most fun painting. Games Workshop could make it absolutely terrible. They could make it negative ballistic skill for Alkir.
Yeah.
I will bring it every game.
Yeah. Just
helps that I think in every game that I've played with it, it's been fantastic so far. Running the Storm Cannon Array and the Siege.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, he's a fantastic model. I definitely want to add one for my Space Wolves at some point. And now that's in plastic, there's even more reason to do that. But yeah, he's just an amazing kit, amazing model. I've always loved the look of him. Anyway, hopefully to bring that down at some point in the game, I've picked up a new unit, just finished painting it yesterday. It is a unit of Eldari support weapons. So they're all armed with D cannons, so we shall see how they do on the table. Hopefully that'll be enough anti-tank fire for me, but we shall see. Anyway, we will head over to the board and catch you there. Okay, here we are at the table. Yesterday I asked Rowan to set up a thematic table and he has done so. This is what he's come up with. So we've got, as we say, the crashed Imperial shuttle in the middle of the board here, which has been shot down by the Corsairs somewhere in high orbit and they are currently nowhere to be seen. There's a shuttle, maybe escaped jettison there, maybe that's who the Chimeras Rampant are here to come rescue, hiding in that pod. We shall see. And yeah, Rowan also picked what the missions and everything were going to be. So we've got search and destroy, so it's corner deployments. We've got sweep and clear, so in this mission, players control an objective marker at the end of their command phase, and one or more units from their army are within range of that objective marker have the objective secured ability. Then that objective marker remains under their control, even if you have no models next to it. So if you have your tactical squad on that, and then you move away, you still count as controlling that, but it only works for your troop choices. And then claim the battlefield. In the second, third, and fourth battle rounds, and at the end of each player's command phase, the player whose turn it is scores 5 victory points if they control 1 or more. If they control 2 or more, so that's 10 points, and then they score 2 victory points for each objective marker, and that's currently claimed by their army. Okay, so if you say you control 3, you get an extra 6 points on top of that. That's quite nice. And then the extra action is claim objective 1 or more. Units from your army with the infantry keyword or the objective secured keyword can start to perform this action at the end of your movement phase. Each unit must be within range of an objective marker that you control, and the action is complete at the end of your turn. Okay, so you can do that action to score the extra 2 victory points. Very nice. Okay, we've just got some dense terrain, difficult terrain, and that's kind of it. Everything else is just sort of line of sight blocking. So yeah, we just get on to rolling to see who puts down a unit first. Oh no! Good luck. Good luck to you. Yes, yes. We shall see how things go today. So I have rolled a 5. Respectable.
Oh, a 1 does not do it.
A 1 does not do it, so I shall ask you to put down a unit first, sir.
Here we are in deployment, and Linden put both of his Wraith Lords in the center of the board, hoping that they can be a bit of a roadblock against the rampant Chimeras. Behind them, he deployed his weapons platforms sneakily out of line of sight. On the other side of the board, 2 of the Chimeras Rampant powerhouse units deployed on David's left flank, while the Outriders hoped to sweep round the board on the right.
Okay, deployment done. Got a lot of blue and yellow on the board, which we like to see. Everything's pretty much front lining, other than my Hornets, which have got enough movement to be able to zip around anyway. So it's just a roll to see who gets first turn. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Here's hoping that I can improve on the 1 that I rolled beforehand with a 3.
A 3, it's better. It is better. So you will be going first, and I'm going to spend 2 CP to Phantasm, so I get to redeploy 3 units. Perfect. So we'll be back in your command phase once I've done that.
Thanks to the Eldari trickery, 1 Hornet, 1 Wraith Lord, and the Dire Avengers were all able to redeploy.
We have a tempting target, so I have to identify 1 objective marker in no man's land, and luckily there is 3. And if I achieve it at the end of my turn, or I achieve it at the end of my turn if I control the identified objective marker. So
I think there's slight change. I think I pick the objective marker on that potentially.
Your opponent, but yep, good shout, thank you.
So I will select the middle one, I think. Yep.
Excellent, bring it in. We've also got behind enemy lines. That's not going to be happening.
Not this
right
turn,
now.
but good one to have next turn.
And then overwhelming firepower. So I keep a tally.
A tally, and see who kills more through shooting you or me. Okay. There's definitely potential with a big Leviathan kicking about there.
Here's hoping.
And yeah, and then lastly, it's just your litany to do for your chaplain.
So he took the shooting ones and going with the aggressors, and they are. He can do 2, I believe, in the command phase because he's the Master of Sanctity.
Yep.
So he's first of all he's just going to go with the Litany of Faith.
Cool.
Which is on
3.
It goes off.
Nice.
So he's faithful.
He's faithful. He's a very faithful man.
He'll also go for the old Litany of Hatred, so he's a faithfully hated man.
Yep.
Also which goes off in a 3.
Nice. Well done, Chaplain.
So everyone within 6 inches gets to reroll hits and 5 up negation.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. We'll be back in your movement phase then.
Chimera's rampant movement phase, and let's see what David got up to. He managed to secure the 3 objectives in no man's land by use of the Outriders, the Impulsor, and the Aggressors. Meanwhile, The dreaded Leviathan sneaks into the middle of the board, claiming it for his own.
It's brutal. See, with the change of the additions, like I'm always so wary about, like, I know what Null Zone does, but do I know what Null Zone does?
Yeah. I know what I think it does, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing really with invulnerable save other than the guy. He'll just might have heroes on. Is it within 20? He might have heroes on himself, just in case.
Just in case.
Probably won't come up, but you never know. So it's needing a 6.
Perfect.
So it just goes off unless there's any chicanery of the Elder.
I don't think I'm going to be within 24 of you, so I think you're going to be perfectly. Yeah, you're perfectly fine this turn.
So he's super mighty this turn if it happens.
Cool.
And that's all my psychic stuff.
A smattering of shooting from the Chimeras, and at the end of it, 3 Guardians and 5 Dire Avengers were brought down.
Okay, first things first, I forgot to do Strands of Fate at the start of the battle round, so I should have done that, but I'll do that now. So I've got 2 6s, that's 2 save rolls, and I'll keep the 2 3s for 2 psychic power rolls. So I don't know if you've come across Elder yet, but basically at any point in the game I can just use those and they count as 6s.
Oh, like the Sisters Battle.
Yeah, it's very, very similar. Yeah, I can just I've got 2 for psychic power, so I could get an automatic super smite off with that if I wanted to, and so that's that. And then my cards that I drew, I've also drawn Overwhelming Firepower, so it's going to be a shooty one. I've got Defend Stronghold, so I just need to be controlling this by the end of your next turn, and I get the points for that. And I've got Blood and Guts, which is the same as Overwhelming Firepower, but it's for combat. So it's who kills the most over my next turn and your next turn in combat will score that. Okay, that's everything in my command phase, so we shall move over to movements.
Iyanden movement phase, and let's see what Linden has in store for us and what tricks he can muster. It looks as though the 2 Wraith Lords have marched into the center of the board, hoping to stall the Chimera's advance. Meanwhile, 2 of the Hornets perform flanking maneuvers around the Space Marine chapter.
Okay, Iyanden's psychic phase. I've just got the 1 psyker this game, which I think is, well, actually no, I've got another one over there, but he's not on the board yet. I think this is the least I've ever run for Iyanden. So we shall kick things off with a Executioner, which, what have I done with my tape measure? There's, which does not need to target the closest unit. So I will go after the pesky, what are they called? Aggressors, that's the ones. It goes off on a 7, it goes off on a 10. You probably not quite in deny range yet. No, the psychers are still weighing each other up. So it's D3 mortal wounds, and if it kills a model, I get to roll another D3. Nope, so it just does 1 mortal wound, which you get to shrug off.
Yeah, I think that I just want to double check that the interaction between the Apothecary and the Chaplain, they don't stack, I would imagine. The Narthecium is if it loses a wound and it's not lost. I think that'll only be the same for the Chaplain. Yeah, so I would only get the 1 and it's just a 5 up from the Chaplain's a wee bit better, so a good 5! Oh, no, they don't like it.
So one takes a wound, and then I shall move on to Doom. So I'm going to try Doom that unit as well, just to give me some reroll wounds on an 8, that does. And then lastly, I'm going to spend a CP so that I can do an extra psychic power, and that will be, so I'll use both of those to get a double 6, which would normally mean Perils of the Warp, but Farseers never suffer Perils of the Warp. So that's an automatic Super Smite, which has to be closest, so it's on the Impulsor. Nice. And then D6, it's just the 2, which you get to shrug as well, presumably.
With that one, I'm not entirely sure if because it's not core.
Oh, but the Imperial Fists, didn't you say they have a shruggy thing built in?
From the Mortal Wood, see. Do they get tactics though? The tanks, I would assume.
Yeah,
they do.
They do. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So 2, you said.
2, yeah.
So the good 5 ups.
So it's just the 1 mortal wound, so not the most potent psychic phase there, but I got Doom off, and that's the most important thing. So back in my shooting phase. Okay, we shall kick things off with my Wraith Lord here, and he is going to put everything into the impulsor in front of him. He should maybe be firing his little weapons off into the aggressors, but that's not what we would do. There's a big tank in front of him. He's just laying everything into that. So he's not within range of any rerolls from aerial, so it's just going to be 3s to hit. And he misses with both his bright lances. That's not great. And then his shuriken. He hits twice, and then he's going to be winding on 5s. No wins. Okay. Move over to this Wraith Lord. And yeah, he's got to go after what's right in front of him. So the 2 bright lances first. They both hit. And wounding on 3s. Strength 8, but you, well, toughness 5, but I can only wound you on 3s anyway. They both wound. It is AP minus 4, but you'll be reducing that by 1 because you're a Space Marine.
So the old, probably, it's not mortal wound, so just 6 ups.
6 ups.
2 was it?
2, yeah.
Ooh,
nope.
Bad times.
And so it's 3 plus D3 damage.
Nice.
So its first one is going to be 6 damage, and the second one is going to be 4 damage.
So 10 total. They don't
put, no. So I think they're 4 wounds each.
I think so. So it'll be 2 dead.
2 dead.
Ooh, it's bad times. Yeah.
And then his shuriken into them as well, which all hit. And 3 6s. So 1 save at AP minus 1, which you ignore, and then 3 saves at AP minus 3, which you reduce to AP minus 2 because of shuriken.
So I'll go with the gold one being the 3 up, and then the other ones being 5 ups.
Perfect. Oh! So he wipes them out just with shooting. Wow.
Finito.
Well, this Wraith Lord completely whiffed, but that one is way overperformed there.
Next, the Dire Avengers avenged their fallen brethren by firing in on the aggressors before falling away like the cowardly Xenos they are. Then 2 of the Hornets targeted the Impulsor, taking 4 wounds from its hull.
Okay, I've got to do my big new shiny unit. So the D cannons, they can shoot out of line of sight, but they'll be -1 to hit and -1 to their AP for that. So they're going to go after the Impulsor as well, because I just need that to bust open so my Wraith Lord can charge some intercessors, hopefully. So they're D3 shots each. So that's a 3 for that one, a 2 and a 1, so that's perfectly average. We're happy with that. They're not core, so I won't be getting any rerolls from aerial or anything, so just hitting on 4s. We'll take that. I'm strength 12, so it'd be 3s. Even if it was, even if I was strength 14, it'd still be 3s for your chapter traits. That's quite cool. He gets all of them through. It's AP minus 3 because I'm -1 because I'm shooting out of line of sight. So you'll be getting 5 up saves on these. Save 2. It's pretty good, and it is D6 plus 2 damage each.
Right.
So it's
still goes through.
Still a 6. It's still just enough.
Just kills him. Oh.
Does he blow up?
Does he blow up? This is
No.
Thank God. It's the only time you want a 1. Right. So he will. Tell you what. I'll leave the base there so I can get the guys out from that. If that's all right.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Nip that out. That's nice. Oh, it's bad news bears first. They would pile out the back. It's not cowardice. It's tactics.
Just, I mean, that's where the door is. To be fair.
Oh well, I think it's all a door now.
Yeah. it's all open top at this point. So even though they've revealed themselves, the Guardians were obviously teeing up to go after Owens. So we got, how many did you kill then? 2 of them. So we got 2 shots each. And these are hitting on 3s. They will be getting a reroll because within 6 of aerial. But wounding is going to be a problem. Reroll that 1. That's an incredible roll to hit though. And then, are you toughness 8 or toughness 7?
I think it went down.
It went down. I'll roll and see what we get.
Yeah, 7 nowadays.
Okay, so it's 3 6s, so those will be at AP minus 3, and then 2 3 up saves. And you'll reduce the AP -2, so you'll still be getting a 5-up save.
I think he's got... Yeah, he's down at a 5-up and vulnerable, but he's
he
got
used to be
2-up standard, so it'd be 2 for the 5s, or...
Yeah, 2s for the 5s, and actually, yeah, 4s for the... Nice.
So the 2s.
He's fine.
And then 3 of the 4s. Oh, 2 3s, that's...
Plink away at the lovely paintwork there. And then those guardians will run away as well, 3 inches.
And he's very handily for the D12, down to 12.
Okay, last bit of shooting here. We're going to get 2 of this unit of guardians to shoot at the lone remaining aggressor. They hit, they're within range of aerial as well. They hit all the times, wounding on 5s, no rerolls. 2 saves, no AP. He's fine, he loves it.
Just takes it.
Okay, that is end of my shooting phase. There'll be no charge there, so it'll just be if the Wraith Lord can charge into the Intercessor. We'll be back for that.
Iyanden charge phase, and the Wraith Lord charges in to the assault intercessors, only for Master of Sanctity Ferguson to heroically intervene. The combat which followed was an uneventful one, with the intercessors scoring 2 wounds onto the Wraith Lord, and no more damage done by anybody.
No, on a sec. No, sorry, that's an Arthecium. The restorative is not even on a 4-up anyway, it's just he gets D3 wounds back. So.
Nice. Stands up with D3 wins.
And it's going to be 1.
It's just the 1, but that's a whole aggressor still back on the board.
And it has to be the Armiger. Has to be
Yeah,
the guy
yeah,
holding
yeah.
his arms, so
Yep.
he's going to just
Awesome.
hold in there for one last chance.
And then you've got your cards that you drew, and you're
Yes, so we took overwhelming firepower.
still hanging on to that one. So I'm on 2 at the moment, so it's doable because I've got some squishy units out in the open now that David can target,
We've got secure no man's land.
which you've already scored. You don't need to do anything on that.
And then we have no retreat, no surrender.
Nice.
Which means that I cannot fail any morale checks, but being heroes of the Imperium, I'm sure that'll be
Yeah.
fine.
You'll be fine.
So on to my Chaplain and his 2...
Litanies. Yeah.
So the Litany of Hate is going to try and go off for the rerolls.
Doesn't because he's not
No.
he's not the wise orator warlord trait.
Except
CP it.
I'm going to command point reroll it.
Okay.
Yeah, he can't be scared to shout at Space Marines. And he only gets it on the
He gets
6.
it. Yeah, nice.
So then the second one, the Litany of Faith, doesn't go off. So just the Litany of Hate for the normal.
That'll get you punching me good and proper in combat though, so that's all good.
Just what we were after, and I believe that it's going to be everything for the command phase.
Cool. Back in your movement phase then.
Chimeras Rampant movement phase 2, and the Leviathan continues to stake its claim as the greatest herald of war in the battle by dominating the center of the board. Meanwhile, the aggressors, now 2 in number, take up a defensive position in front of the apothecary as he investigates that site.
It has to be Might of Heroes, because I think we know what's going to happen, but he's going to put it on the Chaplain, who's already in combat, because they've got a little double team going on.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be cast on, I believe, a 6 for Might of Heroes.
Okay.
Oh,
it's Perils of the War on a double 1, folks.
That's what happens when you try and use Psychic Powers on a Chaplain.
Yeah.
Right, well, so he...
Do you want to CP that if you want?
I can have to, don't I? Yeah. So it's reroll both of them nowadays, not just one, isn't it?
Yeah, both of them. Oh dear.
And it goes off in the 9.
Goes off in 9. Okay, I shall try and deny that with my Farseer, who doesn't quite get to 9, he equals it, but not quite enough. So Might of Heroes has gone off.
On the wee Chaplain, so that's what, +1 strength and attack.
Oh, nice.
And toughness, right, nice. So
very beefy.
Oh, he's wanting this Wraith Lord.
You're going to try smite me
It
now?
has to be, doesn't it? Yeah. Here come the next double one.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as I saw it coming,
Just goes off on a 5. Can I deny? No, I can't again. Equal again. So D3 mortal wounds onto him.
Let's use the golden dice. They always roll out a wee bit better. Coming up. The good
Oh, it is 2. So he's down to 5. Nicely done.
Really, really not happy with this guy.
Okay.
There's also this hornet here that might be an issue. So I think that there's also these guys here with the flamethrowers. Right. So he's gonna spread his fire a bit here, if that's alright.
Yep.
He's gonna melt a gun this guy.
Right.
He's gonna flamer these guys, and he's gonna storm cannon this chap.
Nice.
Probably foolhardy and kind of spreading myself a wee bit too thin, but he's a nutter.
We'll see. I mean, it could come up real good.
So let's just go kind of left to right, if that's okay.
Yep.
So yeah, the heavy flamer.
He's got two
heavy flamers
yeah,
in the chest. So it'll be 2d6. He is within range.
Yeah, he's definitely in there.
So.
Oh, 9 is good. You're wounded on 3s.
Oh,
Not the best conversion there.
So only 4.
Only 4. I'll be ignoring the AP -1 as well for Iyanden. 2 drop. And actual front 2 just toasted.
So the underslung melt-a-gun, he's aiming his claw at you preemptively, but shooting off a wee shot, trying to hit you on 3s. He does get it. And I'm not within half range.
4s, because strength 8 and against toughness 8. Not quite.
Ah well. So finally, just the storm cannons, 8 shots at the
Hornet, which will be -1 to hit because it zips around so quickly.
Oh, I'm not within range of the chap yet, but you'll be hitting on 4s.
4s, yeah.
Again, he's too focused on the combat already. This is the issue.
He's just gearing up. He's a maniac. He's ready to charge into those guardians or Wraith Lord, whoever takes his fancy.
Toughness 6, I would
Toughness
imagine.
6, so yeah, 3s.
And that's 2 wounds, but no negative because it's.
I'll be ignoring it. So 1 goes through. He doesn't reduce damage, so he's taken the full 2, and he's down to 6.
Cool. So that's him done. It's going to have to be the aggressors, I think.
Yep.
So they are within range of the Dire Avengers, and they kind of have to go for them.
Yep.
Don't they?
So it'll be -1 for shooting through the trees at the Dire Avengers, as my protective trees take a bit of a beating. But see how many shots you get from your.
So the 2d6.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, nice.
Extra 9.
So 9 plus the
Plus 12.
So 21 shots. This is 11. So I'll do this and then 10.
Cool.
So hitting on 4s.
Yes. Yep.
Not great. But you really notice the difference from 3s to 4s, eh? But
Yeah. You feel it. You feel it.
then again, saying that as a Space Marine player, you know, Orcs hit on like 5s and 6s, I can't complain. So that's 5 hits, and then the second 10, 4s again, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 total. So just remove one of them.
One of them, yeah.
And wounding on 3s.
3s, yeah. Ooh, drop a few.
But 5 wounds if we're lucky.
Lucky, probably. 3 go down. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, where are we going to now?
I'm going to see if they're in range of those guys, just to kind of back folk up for
30,
the 30 inches.
they might be. That's in there.
For the last guy? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If it touches him.
Full 10 from them.
Hitting on, I think there's stuff in the way, so I think it would be -1 at that.
I think that's fine. These are the crack marksmen. They haven't moved. They've got their scopes on. They're fine. They're hitting on 3s.
So that is 5 misses.
Oof. Maybe not crack marksmen. Wounded on 3s though.
So only 2.
Only
but
2.
It could do it.
Well, the Exarch has an extra wound. He's got 2 wounds, so you won't be taking them out completely. But both those wounds do go through. But the Exarch could run away because he's got a bit of a morale problem now.
Unless you roll those ones that you love so much.
It could do. It could do. We'll just see. Anything else to shoot? They're doing action, and the Apothecary's doing an action. He's got a bolt pistol, but he's probably not in range of Anything within
no,
himself?
I think that he would be so
He's just so
focused
focused on
on
his psychic powers.
suppressing that.
They advanced over there, so they can't shoot. So that's it. Over to charges, presumably. I imagine you might have one potentially to declare.
I think that the Leviathan is going to have to go for it.
Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back for that.
Chimeras Rampant charge phase, and the Librarian joins one combat with the Wraith Lord, while the Leviathan charges into the other, as well as the Guardians lurking there.
Combat phase. Where do you want to go first?
I chose the last one first, so. I mean,
Well,
I'm
no,
happy.
it's
good,
you've got your charges, so you can go here or here, whichever one you want to hit with first.
I think this one's already going on when he charged, so like, we'll move over there.
So Librarian be hitting first because he charged in.
He will be hitting on 2s, I believe, and he should have 4 attacks, but he's firstborn.
He might
actually,
just be 3s. I think they did downgrade the Librarian from being able to hit on 2s to 3s, unfortunately.
I meant he'll have 4 attacks. Four attacks, but yeah,
But he'll still be getting the rerolls for the Litany as well, though. So he should convert a few here.
Didn't need it anyway. He's going for it.
He's hungry for it. He'll be wounded on 5s, presumably, because he'll be strength 6 with his stave, I think.
Plus 3, so that's
Still 7s, yeah. Still not quite enough, yeah.
Only one,
but that's something. He saves it. I'm guessing he saves it. It's just AP -1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he saves it. Okay, on to this charge next then.
Right, so I think that he get downgraded in attacks as well. I just assumed that they all of his stats got worse.
Yeah.
But, no, he's on 4, so it'll be 5 for the charge. Only 1 close combat weapon, but that's okay. Now he was focused on the first charge of the.
Does he get an extra one for this close combat? It might be an extra attack for having that weapon.
You're right. So I was thinking that it was if you get both.
Yeah, if you get both,
attack,
then you're up to even more.
So he'll go half and half.
Okay,
If that's all right.
Yep.
Yeah. So against the Guardians, he is hitting on 3s unless there's any negatives.
Nope.
All hit.
All hit.
And then crunching on the 2s.
Oh yes, that is 3 very squished Guardians there.
And then against his Wraith Lord foe, he is also hitting on 3s. 2 misses there. But wounding on 3s, I would assume. Your toughness.
Unless you're strength 16, it'll be 3s, I think.
Yeah, it's just strength 14.
Yeah. 3s does go through. What's the AP on this?
It is -3.
-3. Okay, I'm going to be very cheeky here and use one of my Elder free 6-up saves. So he's fine. Okay, that goes to my activation. I'm hitting back over here because that is disrespectful. So yes, the Wraith Lord is going to drop down his sniper rifle and he's going to slug you. So he's 4 attacks.
But unfortunately, he missed with all of them. And lastly, the Wraith Lord was able to bring down one of the assault intercessors.
I do have several more, well, 2 morales to do here. So they lost 6 this turn, no, 7 this turn. So they will fail on anything but a 1, because a 1 always passes, but anything but a 1.
Of course.
There is, okay. And he lost 4 this turn, so he will fail on his leadership 8, so on a 4 or higher. He does fail, he's just on his own, so he runs away. Okay, the brave Guardians are still kicking about in the fight, but yes, the Dire Avengers have gone. I am going to score overwhelming firepower, because you didn't kill a unit in shooting this turn, but I killed 2, so I've got that, that's discarded. Blood and Guts, still nobody has killed a unit in combat yet, so that's still 0. And I cheated on Defend Stronghold. I forgot to read the bottom, and you can't score that turn 1, so I've hung on to that now, and I'll begin to start to score that this turn. So David will have a whole other turn to try get to it. So we'll see if I manage to score that or not. Anyway, did you score anything, David?
Yes, I got, I believe, no retreat, no surrender for not feeling a morale check yet.
Yeah, I think you'll get that at the end of my turn.
At the end of your opponent's next turn,
but still all good on that for the moment.
This is at the end of my turn. I got Secure No Man's Land for having
Perfect,
a couple of the old objectives,
perfect.
but no overwhelming firepower. as
And
we
you're
discussed
also
with
going an
yours.
extra 4 for doing 2 actions over here and here. So that's very nice. Okay, we'll tally up the scores and be back in my turn too. We shall see if the Corsairs decide to arrive yet or not. Okay, I am in command phase, so I will be starting to score defend stronghold from now on, so I've held on to that. Blood and guts, I'm going to keep holding. Nothing has died in combat yet, but we shall see if at some point I start scoring that. And I've just drawn assassination, so that is a tempting one. I've got Corsairs that could come down and potentially go after the chapter master over there. I've got a Hornet that can zip over here and go after the apothecary, or maybe the Wraith Lord will just try punch this librarian or this chaplain. Maybe he's finally noticed that they're there. So we'll see what I go for with those. I've got my Strands of Fate to roll again. Oh, I've got 3 6s, so David's going to have a hard time killing me this turn, so I'm going to hang on to those, and I will take a free wound roll as a 6 as well. So I'm not taking any psychic power shenanigans this turn, but that's my command phase, and I'm back in my movement.
Iyanden movement phase, and the Guardians wisely run away from the Leviathan. Meanwhile, the third Hornet sneaks into the center of the board, hoping that Linden can claim that objective later this turn.
Okay, I did have a plan to do a stratagem, which David has very kindly let me do now, called Tears of Isha, which lets me heal D3 wounds on a Wraith construct. So I'm going to do it on this one in combat. He does get the full 3, so he's back up to 8. Yep, there he goes. And with that, we're on to Psychic phase. So Farseer is going to go after the closest unit, which is the Intercessors. So he's going to try smite them.
Oh.
On an 8 he does, but it's very deniable.
I'm going to have to try and deny that with the now free psychic hood that they get.
Oh,
which
yeah,
I'm very
yeah.
glad to find out about.
No, it's good thing there's no perils on that, but no, it's not
God.
denied. So D3 mortal wounds on them. It is the 3, but you get to ignore.
Yes, so I've got 3 5-ups, one of which stops, so it's just a guy dead. It would have to be the Armour here, he's been zapped.
Zapped him, yeah, very nice. And then second psychic power, we doom the aggressors again. Nope. And do I want to spend a CP on another psychic power? No, I don't. So that'll be the end of psychic phase.
Iyanden shooting phase, and Linden was able to wipe out the aggressors once and for all. Meanwhile, the Wraith Lord shot into combat, killing one of the assault intercessors.
I'm out of activation, so it's your intercessors still to go in.
The old 7 attacks for 2 standard, 1 for the chain blade, and then 1 for the sergeant extra.
Yep.
So they are hitting on 3s with a little reroll. Thank the Emperor.
Yes. That's not too bad. Could have been a better conversion, but it's some hits, and then 8 6s to wound, unfortunately. But they've done well again. Can I save? Oh, they do take a further wound from him, so he's down to 7 just after healing himself up. Okay, there's no morales to do. I don't think I'm going to score any points. I'm still working towards defend stronghold. Blood and guts. Still nothing has died in combat. And an assassination. I couldn't get with the Hornet and I couldn't get with the Wraith Lord. So that's me. Have you scored anything?
I believe now at the end of your turn, I get no retreat.
Yes,
no surrender.
Excellently done, yeah.
Which is the 5 points it'll be for the secondary, and then that's just away there. Then I'll go for the litanies, if that's okay again.
Yes.
So I'll do the litany of hate first, which does not go off. I'm going to have to
CP that again.
So down to 3 CP, and it does go
Does
off.
go off. And then we're going to make Litany of Faith next as the other one.
Yes, which also goes off.
Nice.
Far easier to keep track of. I don't think I've got anything else in the command. Oh, I could use. I can't use the action yet. So
yeah, that'll be in the movement phase. So what cards have you got?
Yes.
Potential scoring.
Overwhelming firepower. Still
Before that one. Okay.
So maybe try and shoot something this turn. Could be dodgy, but maybe those guardians are in my sights.
Yeah.
We've got bring it down.
Okay.
So
I've selected this Wraith Lord here that's tied up with the intercessors and the Chaplain and the Librarian.
So hopefully try and give that some 1-2 punches.
Yeah.
And then finally extend battle lines, which is scored at the end of my turn if I control my home objective and at least one in no man's land.
So you're going to get that again pretty easily.
I've been pretty lucky with the cards, to be fair. They've tended to come up with things that I've kind of already got. But if you destroy my army, that's the only way that...
We'll see.
It was a short movement phase for the Chimeras, with the intercessors holding their ground. Meanwhile, the Apothecary and the Blade Guard and Chapter Master Dalrymple moved into engagement range.
First of all, a smite at the Wraith Lord. Hoping for big numbers.
Innate. Okay, Farseer, we'll see if he can deny that. He cannot.
So it's going to be D3.
Oh,
three
so
wins.
3. Okay, so he is down to 4. Stingy one.
And the Wraith Lord doesn't have an invulnerable, does it?
He does not, no.
So I'm not going to null zone my Chaplain.
No.
I'll go for a Might of Heroes on the Chaplain again.
Okay.
Which goes off in a 9.
Okay, see if I can deny that, because Farseer's get 2, he can't. Okay. Very successful psychic phase there.
Yeah, he's tuned into the warp, he's been on that warp dust, something chronic.
He's avoided having his brain explode again after dodgy pearls in turn 2.
A short shooting phase with the Wraith Lord suffering a hit from the assault intercessors, 4 guardians being brought down by the intercessors, and Chapter Master Dalrymple plinking a wound from the Hornet in the middle of the board. Dalrymple charges into the Hornet, and the Apothecary engages with the Guardians. Combat begins with the Chargers, and Dalrymple inflicts 2 wounds upon the Hornet, and the Apothecary brings down 2 Guardians.
Okay, my activation, I'm going to go with this Wraith Lord. I've still got Assassinate on the board, so he's going to try bring down that Librarian again. Hits 3 times, wounded on 3s. 3 saves, AP minus 3, which you'll be reducing 1.
6 up. Well,
5 ups, yeah.
Takes
No,
2.
so it's 6 damage, but you'll get all your shrugs on those. Oh no, it's just mortal wounds, isn't it?
He won't be probably in range, so
he's crushed them.
he's splatted.
Okay, Wraith Lord over here with his 4 attacks. We'll see if he can finally do something. He's hit every time. He's wounding on 4s. He's got 3 wounds through. It's AP minus 3, but you'll be reducing that, and you've got 2 up save. You got 2 up save based on him, so it'll be 4s.
Is it 3 up nowadays? I think.
Oh, is it moved to 3 up? Is it?
I think so. I'll just double check. Oh no, I'm lying. So
4 ups. Sorry, 3 4 ups. But he does take some damage, so each of those is 3 damage each, but you'll be reducing that, so it'll just be 6 damage.
Still, it's a good hit.
It's a good slocker. Finally, somebody's landed a right hook in this one.
He'll come back at you with 5 attacks though.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s. Oh, is it minus 1?
Nope.
All hit.
Lovely.
And 3s to wound. That's 3 saves.
Okay, I'll spend my last 6 on...
I'm going to command point that one just because I need to kill this guy and
that's a 3. That's in. Okay, so it's 4 saves. I'm going to use a 6 on one of them, and then the rest need to be 6s. Save 1, but that's 2 whatever your damage is.
3 damage each on them.
3 damage each, so I reduced that as well. So that's 4 damage, so he is down to 5. Wow, finally these two, about half each other's health there. Okay, I'm going to have a morale issue down here because you killed 6, so I need a 1 again.
Here it comes.
No, so they fail, so 1 runs away. However, Iyanden do ignore the combat attrition, so rather than running away on 1s and 2s, because I'm below half strength, it'll just be 1s. So another 1 does run away, so they're down to 2. Right, that is the end of the turn. You scored some points there on your secondaries, did
on
you?
the old secondaries, it will be... I did not bring it down. I did get extend battle lines.
Yes, you did.
For deployment zone and controlling this one.
Yep.
No overwhelming firepower.
No
once again.
Once again. And I've scored Defend Stronghold for having this back one and also Assassinate for tick. So I've got a 10 there, which is very important because I really need to start catching you up on the points. Okay, Iyanden command phase in turn 3. Blood and Guts, I've still held on to. Finally scored 1 point on that for killing something in combat. I've got Secure No Man's Land, which is going to be tricky. I've got to claim 2 of these central objectives. I can potentially do one with the Guardians over there, but I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do to claim these 2, but we'll see. And I've got Hold the Line, which I just need to keep David out of my deployment zone until next turn. So we'll see what I can do with that. And yeah, just got my Strands of Fate dice to roll. Oh, it's a lot of 1s, which is advanced rolls, which I don't really care about. So with having my Farseer on the board, I can re-roll one of those to a 1 again. Okay, so I guess I'm having a couple of advanced rolls and a hit roll and a wound roll.
Iyanden movement phase, and the troublesome Corsairs who started this whole affair finally join the battle. Meanwhile, 3 Guardians and a Hornet move on to 2 of the objectives in No Man's Land, hoping that Linden can score them by the end of the turn.
Okay, movement done. So we'll kick things a psychic phase off, and we shall start with the Farseer, who's going to do a smite into the apothecary. On a 5, it just goes off, and your denier is dead.
Yes.
So D3 mortal wounds. Just the 2.
I'll get my 5-up stalwart from that, which does not happen.
Okay, we'll go straight to Executioner on him then.
Oh.
See if we can finish him off. On an 8, it does go off. It doesn't matter how many mortal wounds it is.
Unless I can...
So it's the full 3. See if you can shrug them.
Oh, the old 5-ups!
Oh, gets 1.
Like it, but...
There he goes. He's felled. Well done, Farseer. And I now have an extra... Psyker on the board in the form of my Wayseer over there. So he's going to also do a smite into the Blade Guard, which will be going off as 6 now, because I've already cast one. So it does go off. D3 mortal wounds. Oh, it's the 3 again.
Coming in strong.
Oh, he saved
Only
2
1.
though. Very good, very good. Okay, we're back in shooting phase.
There was a smattering of shots all across the board from this shooting phase from the Iyanden, but the main event was all 3 Blade Guard being brought down. Iyanden charge phase, and it is Iriel's turn to join the fight.
Okay, Iriel's gonna kick things off in the combat phase. He's got 5 attacks, he's hitting on 2s, drops 1. He's strength 6, so he'll be wounded on 3s. That's 3 saves at AP minus 3, so it'd be 5 ups because you'll be reducing it. 4 saves at AP minus 3.
5 ups!
Oh, it's a valiant effort, but it's 3 damage each, so he's brought low.
Tick.
Next, Dalrymple swung his mighty fist once more, taking 4 wounds from the Hornet, leaving it on 1 remaining.
Okay, that was an interesting one. I have killed another unit in combat, so I'm up to 2 on Blood and Guts now. I believe I've just done enough to score Secure No Man's Land, because I've got 1 objective, and I just outnumber you on that one, 2 objectives. And then Hold the Line, I will score next turn if you don't get a unit into my deployment zone.
Which is a tough ask.
Tough one, but yeah, we shall see. Did you score anything that turn?
No, I'd bring it down, and I didn't shoot anything to death, I don't think.
Didn't shoot anything to death, okay. So I'm beginning to creep up again on the points, but we'll see what David does in his turn 4.
I'm not going to use a reroll on this litany.
Okay.
He's going to go for the Litany of Faith first, which...
No, he doesn't.
But the Litany of Hatred...
So it's the one he needs. Oh dear.
We're going to have
We'll have to have
some
words.
catechisms next week.
Ferguson, what's going on, buddy?
With only 2 units for the Chimeras Rampant not engaged in combat, the intercessors decide the time is right to spring their assault.
Right, so in the shooting phase, once more I'm going to go for Leviathan first, shooting into your Wraithlord and hopefully try and do something here. I've kept the old command dice for this melt-a-gun, but I'm hopefully not going to need it with 6. And I'm wounding on 4s.
Yes.
Okay.
AP -4, so I won't get a save. So just straight over to damage. D6.
D6, yep.
+2 because you're within half range.
So anything but a 1 or 2. Oh, right, well. Can I use my?
You can on damage. Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah. So it's 5, but I am going to reduce that by 1.
No.
But you've still got all your other arsenal to shoot still. So I'm alive on a wound.
The 2 heavy flamer shots gets 8 shots.
That's very respectable.
And they are wounding on 5s, which is 4.
Oh, so I'm still ignoring that AP, but that's a lot of 3-up saves to make. I fail 1, which is enough. Wraithlords can't explode, so he is gone, freeing up the Leviathan at last.
And the 2 units of intercessors fire, one bringing a wound from Iriel, while the other striking into the Hornet. Chimeras Rampant charge phase, and the Leviathan charges into the poor Guardians. One unit of intercessors targets Iriel, and the other engages the Hornet. Incredibly, in the combat phase, the Leviathan failed to kill even one of those tricksy Eldari Guardians. The intercessors fared better, bringing 1 wound from Iriel, only to be struck back by the powerful Corsair prince, who took one of them to their grave.
Okay, you're captain then?
5 attacks. Come on.
You must destroy it here.
Hitting on 3s, that's definitely
Yes.
a
Got 1.
which misses, and then 3s to wound.
Yeah. Okay,
2
so
saves.
I need 2 6-ups here. No, Hornets can explode. No, he implodes in fact, but that is the first of the Hornets brought low.
And then a little consolidation for him.
Little consolidation, yeah, wherever you want.
He's going into the
He's going that way.
He's stalwart, but he's not that stalwart.
It's not that stalwart. Okay, the last combat for me is my Wraith Lord, and I'm going to spend a hit roll, so one of these is automatically going to hit. And then I'm going to spend a wound roll, so one of these is automatically going to wound. This is all going into the Chaplain, by the way, and an extra 2 wounds, so three wounds on a 4+ because you're in Terminator armour.
And 2 go through.
It's flat damage 3, so it'll be 6 wounds.
He is toast.
The Wraith Lord claims a second character this game. Wow. He's been a beast.
Good shout on the bring it down choice.
Yeah. He's just still going. Okay, is that everything?
I think that's us, isn't it?
There's no morales to do, I don't think. No.
No, you killed them.
Okay, so I got to draw 3 new cards that turn. So I've got Bring It Down, which is obviously has to go on the Leviathan. That's priority target number 1. We'll see what I can do against that. I've got Teleport Homer, which I could potentially do with one of my Hornets zipping across the board there. And I've got Extend Battle Lines, which I will have to get 2 objectives this turn, which is possible. The Guardians could potentially charge that Chapter Master and just hope he doesn't kill them all. So yeah, we shall see what I do in that. I've got my Strands of Fate to do. I do get a couple more saves. That's going to help keep Iriel alive. And I do get 2 3s for potential other Super Smite. So we'll stick with those and yeah, be back in my movement phase.
Eldari movement phase, and the 2 Hornets zoom onto the home territory of the Chimeras Rampant. Meanwhile, the Corsairs once more flee from the battle.
Okay, Psychic phase, and my Farseer is going to, very cheekily, he's going to steal Iriel's kill. So he's going to automatically Super Smite with the 2 6s. Again, he ignores that because of his Ghost Helm, so it's D6 mortal wounds, the 5, but you will get to ignore these.
Because they are super stalwart.
Blocks 2.
Three.
So 3 go through, so one's dead and one's on a wound.
And it'll have to be the guy just up at the front there.
Okay, and then he'll try smite that guy as well. On a 3, he does not. So that's the end of my psychic phase. Decent. Sorry, not that wasn't going to be smite. I did my smite. That was going to be executioner, but anyway, failed anyway. You know what I meant. Anyway, okay, back in my shooting phase.
A slightly underwhelming shooting phase, Dalrymple took a wound and 2 intercessors were brought down while another 2 were wounded. Iyanden charge phase, and perhaps foolishly or heroically, the Guardians charge into Chapter Master Dalrymple. Meanwhile, Iriel seeks to wipe out the last of the intercessors. This time the Leviathan finds its mark and brings down the 3 Guardians. Dalrymple's fist rips into 5 of the unit he's engaged with, and Prince Iriel brings down the intercessor.
So what cards have you got this turn?
So I've still got Bring It Down.
He's only on 2 wounds, so he's getting close to the end there.
I think that Dreadnought might have to have a word.
Fire a volley at him.
I've also got Blood and Guts for the combat fighting and trying to kill more units than yourself. And then finally, Raise Banner.
Yes.
I hold one of these objectives.
Excellent
for
stuff.
good. So that's the command phase, I believe.
Okay.
In the Chimeras Rampant movement phase, the Leviathan swiveled back around to help out his chapter master, and the remaining intercessor unit started performing raise banners on that precious objective. Nothing died in the shooting phase, and in the charge phase, the Leviathan went into the Guardians.
Roll straight into your attacks for him then. Save his chapter master. I think his chapter master probably had everything under control, to be fair, but he's coming anyway.
So he's hitting out with 5 attacks. He's hitting on 4s now. And he is killing on 2s. Just 2.
2. Oh, sorry.
Okay. No,
I destroyed his storm cannon array.
Better that it comes off easily than...
Yeah.
You know.
Then it'd be... Okay, so my activation then. The 3 Guardians, we'll see what they can do against this chapter master before he brings them down. They hit twice. They don't wound. Okay, so his Power Fist attacks into them.
It's going to have to get right punchy with his 5 attacks, hitting on 3s.
That's probably
splashing on 2s.
Yes, they are felled. Okay, I'm down to just 2 Guardians now out of 30, so it's not too bad going. Do you want to consolidate anywhere with those guys? Or?
I mean, I think that they and their
stalwart
other brothers
once again. So I'll roll my Strands of Fate. Oh, sorry, did you score at any points there?
I've got the Raise the Banner at the end of the... Yes, just at the end of the movement phase. Did not get Bring It Down, and I've got 1 point on the Guardians for Blood and Guts when it comes round.
Okay. So I will draw another card, which is a tempting target. So you get to pick a objective that you don't want me to control. One of the 3 in the middle.
This one.
This one, okay, the centre one. I'll see what I can do about that. It's going to involve going right into the fray, I think. So I've still got that. I've still got Bring It Down, so I've just got to bring down that Leviathan, and I've got Extend Battle Line, so I've got to try find out a way to be holding 2 objectives by the end of this turn in no man's land. But Strands of Fate, see how we do. We've got another 6, that's good. We've got 2 wound rolls, that's potentially good. I'll re-roll this advanced roll because my Farseer's still on the board for a Psychic. Yes, I will. I'll take that all 6 on the Psychic. Not got the double of them, but that'll do. So we'll just quickly mosey on to movement. The weapons platforms are going to get a bead of line of sight onto that Leviathan over there. The Farseer is going to head over this way, as are the Guardians. And these guys are quite happy just sitting on that objective down there. Iriel, of course, is coming round to meet your general head on. And yes, the Wraith Lord is going to do the same. And you know what? The Corsairs are quite happy that they've just caused a bit of mayhem over the course of today. They've come down, they shot something, they're just going to continue hanging out at the back there. They don't want to unnecessarily put themselves in harm's way, so they're pretty good.
Awesome.
So move over to Psychic Phase, and we'll begin with an Executioner onto these guys here. Goes off on a 7, so no we won't. And then we will do a Smite, so I'll automatically make one of them a 6. Oh, and it's a super smite again, and he avoids the perils again. So D6. Oh, it's just a 1. See if you can ignore it.
He does.
Well, that's a very tepid Psychic Phase from the Farseer there. Okay, go straight on to the shooting. And we'll start with this Hornet that's up here, going down into these Intercessors. He hits 5 times. Wounding on 3s. Just the 2, and just regular saves on those.
One gets dropped.
One gets dropped, and then the other Hornet. Oh, you can actually can't see them.
Oh, I'd say so, because I mean, if this is kind of, he's just jutting over that.
Okay, well, we'll say it's definitely -1 to hit, for sure. So it's just the 3, and 2 saves.
One goes through.
It's damage 2.
Oh, that's bad. So I'm going to have to... I think it's going to have to be the Sergeant.
Has to be Sergeant, because keep on the objective. Okay, and the Guardians will see. Continue peppering down here. We'll see what the Guardians can do. They hit 3 times. Oh, it's 2 at AP -3, so 5 up saves on this.
Oh, I can't roll a d12 for a 5 up. Oh, he's down to 1 wound.
Down to 1 wound. Farseer with his pistol. He hit. Ooh, our Farseer's ballistic skill 2+. It doesn't usually come up for me. You know it's getting desperate when the Farseer's shooting. Let's see how he does. Farseer. He has a ballistic skill 2+, so he hits. He wounds. 3 up save. Oh, he's fine. Okay.
Powerful 6.
Ariel is going to zap you, your commander, with his eye. He hits. That's definitely caught. He's strength 6, so he will wound.
Yep.
It's AP -3.
So just his 4 up.
Yep.
Vulnerable.
He's fine. Okay, the D cannons next. Go after your heavily wounded but mighty Leviathan. So we'll see how many shots we get. It is 5. That's respectable. So hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. It's 3 saves. It's going to go on to your invuln because I'm AP -4. Oh no, AP -4 would be AP -3. So 3 up, 4. 5 up on your invuln or your armor save. It's the same.
So he's going for 2 saves. Or 2 failed saves.
2 fails. Do you want a CP one of those, or do you want this damage to go through? It's going to be D6 +2 on each one.
I believe.
You believe.
Venerable brother wins.
Okay. Oh, so that is that's lots. Yeah, that is 14 damage, which you'll be reducing. Okay. Does he blow up? No. Unless Leviathans blow up on a 4.
They used to.
They used to, but not
I'll double
anymore.
check. Got it right enough. Explodes on a 6 now. Or just on a 6.
Okay. But I do get bring it down.
Oh, absolutely vital.
Okay, the Wraith Lord, seeing that his target is down, is going to swivel around to try take out this Intercessor. He trusts his commander, Ariel, to take out this pesky Imperium Monkai. But he's going to shoot the 2 Bright Lances over here. He hits with 1. Oh, he's within 6, so he'll be re-rolling that as well because he's core. 1 wound. It's 6 up, yeah.
Oh, it's key! He's dead.
He's dead.
Oh, but the banner stands.
The banner does stand. And lastly, we just have Ariel charging in. He's 5 attacks. It's a combat.
I was going to overwatch that.
Oh, go for it. Plasma, maybe, for sure.
I'm going to overheat.
Oh!
It has to be. I've rolled a 1 every other time with the plasma gun. It can't happen this time. He hits.
Oh, Overwatch is just hitting on 6s.
Oh, sure.
So do you want to not Overwatch?
No.
Okay.
He would have done it anyway.
He would have done it anyway.
Take out that pesky elder.
Okay, so 5 attacks. He hits all the times, but are you toughness 5 or toughness 6? Sorry.
Toughness 5.
Okay, so still be 3s. It's 3 saves on your 4 up. It's probably not going to take you out here. He just does 1, so it's 3 wounds. He's down to 4, but now he's going to get to slog me back.
Well, so it's going to have to be the 5 attacks back. He's hitting you on 3s.
You've got We'll say you didn't Overwatch. So
No,
yeah,
I mean-
CP one of them.
Right.
Come on, he's got to do it. Yes,
That's
2
for
hits.
6. Why not? It's here come the 2 ones though.
Nope. So 4 ups for Uriel. He passes 1 but fails 1, so he's going to go down to 2 wounds. And it's the end of the game. Because that was my turn 5, wasn't it? So tally up points at the end there. I am going to get a tempting target because I outnumber you on that objective, so that's next to 5. I got bring it down, so that's next to 5. And I do control 2 objectives, so that's another extra 5. So I get a full 15 in that last turn.
I only raised the banner beforehand. I do not get bring it down that I've had for the entirety of the game.
This
it feels
Wraith
like.
Lord, I don't know how he survived, but he's done it.
But I do believe that I get blood and guts for punching the Guardians.
The
to
Guardians
death.
there. I think that's just a tally. So I think you need to get up to 3 on that one for blood and guts. I think so. You've killed.
Yeah,
so you killed this
you're right.
one and you've killed that one. So that's 2 units of
Perfect.
Guardians. But did you kill a third thing?
No, not in combat. Sorry,
No.
I thought it was one of the ones that you
Yeah, you
compare.
Yeah, just no. I don't think you killed this.
No. So
Okay, and then because it's the end of the turn, I'd score my primary at the end of the turn, so I'd be getting the 10 on that.
Nice.
So over to Rowan. What's the scores at the end of the game? It's a victory for David.
84 to 78.
84.
Oh, I did not think that because like when you taking those 3 objectives right at the end and only having Chapter Master down in the middle.
But
I
he's done
think-
it. He's narrowly avoided a tabling, and that's all you need to do. Secure the victory.
I mean, I have to say, I think it feels like a model draw. Thank you very much. for
Great
the
game, man.
That was
Really
really
that was
fun.
a really
Thank
good
you.
one. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, we'll have to get you back on the channel again at some point. Maybe with these guys again, or maybe with your Blood Angels. We'll have to see. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed that at home, and we'll see you again soon.
And now it is time for your 3 stars. Your 3rd star today waded his way across the board and was only finally felled in the last turn of the game. It is the Leviathan. Your 2nd star today, simply for surviving the entire game and dealing out a little bit of damage along the way, it is the Wraith Lord. And your 1st star of the day, it can only be the man that secured his victory for his chapter, Chapter Master Dalrymple. A well-deserved victory for him, being the last remaining member of his noble chapter, the Chimeras Rampant, on the board this day. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon.